Hello everyone, this is Lucy05 and welcome to Global Central Toy Review. And today so you'll be looking at the 2011 release by Hasbro of the G.I. Joe celebrating the 30th anniversary action figure review. And today's action figure review, we'll be looking at the Wave 4 of the Edwin quote and unquote Lifeline Steen, the Rescue Trooper. Now I got this straight from eBay, and by buying a whole set of Wave 4 figures, this only cost me $10, which is a little bit pricier than the retail pricing, but it's still alright. Now let's take a look at the front portion of the packaging itself. On one corner here, we have a very realistic artwork of Lifeline, and no matter how many times I look at his face, he will always, to me, he'll always look like Hugo Weaving's Agent Smith from Matrix, because he does look like one. Well, at least almost similar. Quite detailed artwork, as you can see his uniform there, very nice. Here in the plastic bubble we have Lifeline figure now, and his strap on the left arm with an assault rifle. Here we have the shock paddles, very nice. You got this tubing here that's meant to hook up on the IV bag there, there's the IV bag. There's the breathing mask attached to the oxygen tank. Here we have his helmet. We have a syringe pistol, a medic bag, and at the back would be the trauma board, and hiding all these accessories behind the figure is the base stand itself with no catalog, which is very good. Now let's take a look at the back portion of the packaging itself. Here we have the full image of Lifeline artwork, very nice. Here is the rest of the wave itself. We have the 30th anniversary Seymour quote and unquote sci-fi fine. We have the Renegades Law and Order, Renegades Kurt quote and unquote airtight Schner. We have the 30th anniversary Edwin quote and unquote Lifeline Steen, which we are reviewing today. We have the 30th anniversary Zombie Viper, 30th anniversary Techno Viper, Renegades Storm Shadow, Renegades Cobra Trooper aka Cobra Security Trooper, and finally we have the Renegades Cobra Commander. Now at the bottom is his file card. I'll bring up close a little bit. Top corner here we have a G.I. Joe logo, stated on this section code name Edwin quote and unquote Lifeline Steen Rescue Trooper, name Edwin C. Steen. Here we got a nicer image of Lifeline there with a G.I. Joe stamp seal above. Now in this section is stated Grade E-5 bracket Sergeant, birthplace Seattle, Washington. Primary weapon, assault targeting weapon. Combat gear, para helmet, medic bag, medic pack, mask, IV bag module, trauma board, shock paddles, syringe, pistols. It has a lot of accessories. Now in the write-up it stated Edwin quote and unquote Lifeline Steen was a paramedic with the Seattle Fire Department for 5 years before enlisting in the Army as a corpsman. When something heavy comes down on the G.I. Joe team and they are in no condition to walk out on their own, Lifeline quote unquote is the one who goes in and extricates them. As a combat medic, he walks into a battle zone to give immediate medical treatment to those in need. Very nice. So without further ado, let's open up this packaging so we can molest the figure. Be right back. And we're back after the figure and the rest of stuff out from the packaging. Now let's take a look at Lifeline's accessories here, starting off with the base stand. Now it comes with a nice little base stand here, that's based on the 25th anniversary style with a nice little G.I. Joe logo on the top with 2 pegs for the figure to stand on. Nameplate there stated as Lifeline, and the back bottom section of the base stand stated at 2007 Hasbro made in China. Now Lifeline here comes with a lot of accessories, and a lot of these accessories are very suitable for the figure Lifeline because he's well, rescue trooper, and he does come along with a lot of, well, rescue equipment. So to those who actually like, well, that making dioramas, this figure comes with appropriate equipment and accessories for making nice dioramas there. But first things first, let's take a look at his weapons. Now here, strangely enough, we have a new weapon. As you can see here, it does bear resemblance to the 25th anniversary line to the Rise of Cobra assault rifle with a grenade launcher, but this one is a little bit retooled. First things first, the entire thing is made of a black plastic material color with no paint job at all, but the mold is very detailed. First we have the handle and the trigger, but no trigger guard. Here we have the magazine there. The magazine clip is quite nicely detailed. At the bottom there's a bit of a handle there as well. We have a very long grenade launcher with a trigger finger as well, and a trigger guard. A silencer attached to the barrel itself, very nice. The body of the assault rifle is also quite nicely done with the details. Laser pointer at the top, scope at the top as well, and as at the back of the rifle itself we have a stock. Very nice. This is a very detailed assault rifle here. Then we come along something familiar, which we've seen it so many times. We have here a smaller knife made of a black plastic material color. The blade is actually painted in silver. This you actually can find in the 25th anniversary line, or the Rise of Cobra as well. Nothing special. Then came along with another familiar item. This smaller pistol here is made of a black plastic material color. No paint job at all, and very tiny little trigger found at, well, next to the handle itself, but with no trigger guard. And the mold is from the 25th anniversary line, so nothing special there. You can actually store the knife on the lower legs, located at the right side of the lower legs of Lifeline, and the pistol on the left side of the thigh. There's a pistol holster there. Then we come along with something new. Here we have a syringe pistol. Very nice. This is not painted at all. This is made of a black plastic material color, no paint job applied onto it, and the mold is totally new. Very nice. You've got the handle there, you've got the trigger as well, you've got the syringe, and you can actually store this on his chest. There's another holster there as well. Very nice. Another new item here, we have the IV module bag here with the hose itself. The items is actually two separate pieces. We have the IV bag and the tube. At the end of the tube there's a clip-on. You can actually clip it onto another figure. Now this peg here is meant to connect on this section of the IV bag. This is a peg that meant to connect the trauma board, so you're meant to connect on this area here. Very nice. And the entire thing is made of a clear plastic material color with a label, a blue label, sky blue color or cyan blue color, imprinted onto the IV bag itself. Very nice. Very nicely done. And on the bottom section is the clip-on to clip onto other figures' hand. Then we have another new accessory. This is a breathing mask attached with an oxygen tank made entirely of a clear plastic material color with a little bit paint job. The oxygen tank itself, the top section of the oxygen tank is painted in white, but the tank is painted in blue. The entire thing is made of a clear plastic material color, and the mold is totally new. Here we have a breathing mask. As you can see, you can slip the breathing mask onto any figures, also depending the size of the head of the figure itself, because if it's too small it's a bit too loose. Very nicely done with the details itself. You got a smaller meter on the top as well, but it's way too small for you to see anything. And the best part about this accessory, not only you can strap it onto any figures using the breathing mask itself, Lifeline can actually hold onto the oxygen tank using his hands. Very nice. Then we come something with, well, too familiar, removable knee pads made of a dull red plastic material color with no paint job at all. This is the same knee pads as you see on the Pursuit of Cobra, Desert Battle, Snake Eyes, or even better, the Steel Brigade figure in the Pursuit of Cobra line and the 30th anniversary line, or the Cobra Troopers, both in the Pursuit of Cobra and the 30th anniversary line. Up until now, Hasbro still do not want to glue the knee pads onto the figures' things. which is something I find it really annoying, because what happens if the knee pads accidentally pop off from the knee itself and then drop on the floor and disappear forever? That's the problem with the knee pads. Then we have his signature helmet, made of a white plastic material color, but painted in red on each side of the straps, at the top section as well, it's painted in red, and the visor painted in silver. This is a totally new mold. As you can see, there's some really nice details there. You've got the visor and the visor strap surrounding all over the side of the helmet itself. Very nice. Then we come along with his medic pack, or medic bag here, made entirely of a white plastic material color, which is very shiny, as you can see here. The only colors that apply onto the case itself is on this section here, where they imprinted the logo and putting the word rescue. You got a handle on the top, very nicely done. Now the case is familiar looking, but it's totally different, because the moment you open up the case itself, this is what you're gonna see. And yes, which I forgot to mention, we have two shock pads. As you can see, made of a white plastic material color. You know, the kind of shock pads that you, well, charge up and use it on a patient when their heart died off. Yes, it does come with a shock pad. And yes, you can actually store the shock pad on these two square slots here, or rectangular slots there. So let's place it in there first, just in case. I don't want it to go missing, because it's not attached to anything. It's a separate piece. Maybe I'll just put it on one side. I'll show you more on the medic bag here. Very nice. Inside of the medic bag, the background is painted in red. There's a lot of paint job involved for the medic bag itself. We have silver paint job on this panel here, silver paint job on the some sort of a pressure checker. What do you call those? The one that check your pressure. You got a green paint job on the tubing as well. Green paint job on the background next to the buttons itself. Blue paint job on this section as well. More silver paint job here. Syringe here is also painted as well. Very nice. And neon green paint job on this section. There's a lot of nice details here. The molding is excellent. There's a lot of nice details. As you can see, syringe, the pressure checker here. Very nice. Here is an empty slot. This is to store the IV bag. Very nice. And you can close it with no problems and have Lifeline hold onto the handle with no problem. The final accessory is attached together. There are two separate pieces. This is the trauma board. This strap here is made of a white plastic material color, and the board itself is made of a, well, lighter red plastic material color. No paint job at all. On the side of the handles, you can have more than a few figures to hold on the side of the handles to carry a patient. This is the section where you place the patient's head to keep his head moving all over the place. Small little hole here is meant to plug in the IV bag. The strap here, you can actually, you have to connect it yourself. As you can see, the bottom section of the strap here, there's the stopper. On the other side here, and it's also, there's a smaller stopper here. You can actually pull it all the way down. As you can see, it won't pop out, but you have to apply some force to place this entire strap in, because the hose is a little bit too tight. But then again, it's a good idea anyway to make it tight so it won't pop off so easily. So this entire board, you can place one figure, strap it in, place all the stuff to, well, take care of the patient. Very nice. Of course, Lifeline wouldn't be able to carry the trauma board all by himself. Very nice. The accessories are really good. Really good stuff. Reminds me of the Pursuit of Cobra Snow Jobs accessories. Tons of accessories. Now, let's take a look at the figure's paint job. Now, as you can see, majority of the parts you see on the figure itself is made of a red plastic material color. Very nice. Let's take a look on the head itself. The head is made of a red plastic material color, so the entire head is actually painted. Flesh tone skin is painted, the hair is painted in black. He's wearing this green glasses here, the aviator glasses. Very nice. Looks like Agent Smith, no matter how I see it, except for the black hair there. The torso is not painted at all. It's mostly in red plastic material color with white paint job on the linings, as you can see. And of course the neck joint is painted with flesh tone skin. The pockets, as you can see, the pouches on the torso itself is a separate piece that add on to the body itself, so it's not painted. So there's the holster here for the syringe pistol, and also a pouch on this section here where the rescue logo is imprinted on it in orange. The entire arms here is not painted at all, and just purely made of red plastic material color, except for the bottom section of the sleeve itself is painted in white. The other side, the pouch here is painted in white, except for the other side. This one's painted in white. And again, just like the other side of the arm itself, the bottom section is painted in white. The hands, of course, is actually painted in flesh tone paint job. Very nice. And yes, the hands is made of a red plastic material color. Lower section of the abdomen area or the waist area, the belt is painted in white. Now for the legs itself, all the pouches you see is not painted at all. The pouches here, the holster, the gun holster here, the knife sheath here is not painted, purely made of a white plastic material color. However, on one section here, this, I would say, the doctor's equipment, the one that it's like a smaller torchlight to shine onto your eye or to your throat, is actually painted in silver. I really wish this is a removable piece. It would be great to actually have this as a separate piece here. Now the straps is painted in dull red. You're better able to notice the straps there though. You have to look really close to notice the dull red straps there. And one side of the tie is painted with the word rescue. Well, at least most of the words are there. Some of the letters are, well, not painted, of course. Now the lower legs is actually painted in red because the lower legs is actually made of a white plastic material color. So this section is actually painted in red, and the lower section of the boots itself is not painted at all. Purely white plastic material color. The bottom section of the boots. And that's all there is for the paint job, but it looks very nicely done. Now let's take a look at the figure's mold. Now bear in mind, this figure, at least half the portion of the figure's body is reused, but there are some retooling. The upper arms there actually came from the Pursuit of Cobra Shock Trooper. The entire legs there actually came from the Desert Battle, also Pursuit of Cobra, the Desert Battle Snake Eyes, with a little bit of retooling for the pouch here. And funnily enough, the new parts will be the lower arms, the hands, the torso, the abdomen area, and the head. Very nice. You can tell the lower arms is not even belonging to this upper bicep because due to the amount of cut they have for the elbow itself, because it bends all the way to the back. The original figure for the Shock Trooper doesn't bend all the way to the back. Now I really like this new retooling, especially when they actually use some of the parts itself, like the torso, actually belong in the 25th anniversary line, but they actually retool it and modify it quite heavily that you're barely able to recognize it. But it's very nice. They add in a lot of pouches here. It doesn't hinder too much of the articulation, as you can see, especially on this part here where the extra pouch is hanging on this section here. Very nice. A lot of holster. Very nice for him to store a lot of his equipment. Again, I really wish that this is removable too. It's a bit thin that it's not removable. I really wish it's removable. The lower legs of the mold itself is nothing really that special, except, well, for this part, this is nice, very detailed stuff. Upper bicep is nothing special, the same old stuff. Lower arms is nicely done, a lot of wrinkles there. There's a padding at the bottom of the elbow, but again, nothing special. The torso is also nothing special, except it has a lot of pouches there. The head sculpt is actually quite nicely done, despite it looks pretty ordinary, but with all the equipment attached onto the figure itself, it looks just like Lifeline. Very nice. His hair is very short. He's wearing these glasses. Very nice. I'm also forgot to mention that they actually painted a very tiny little paint job on the eyebrows there, which is in black. Very nice. Now let's take a look at the figure's articulation. The head actually cannot pivot up and down that much anyway. Tiny little bit, as you can see. Cannot go side to side that much, but you can still go side to side and turn 360 degrees. Shoulder joints here can turn 360 degrees and lift the arms this high. Elbow joint bends this far, bend back and turn 360 degrees. Wrist joint actually has an additional joint, but first things first, both wrist joint can swivel 360 degrees, go down and up. The other side of the wrist joint is the same, go down and up and turn 360 degrees. Both of the mold of the hands itself are trigger finger hands, very nice. Torso joint here can move forward despite having an extra pouch. It does not hinder too much of the articulation. Back, side to side, and turn 360 degrees. Hip joints here can move forward, back a little bit, to the sides. Double jointed knee that bends this far. An ankle joint that pivots downwards, upwards, and turn 360 degrees. However, there is a problem with this figure because one side of the leg is longer than the other one, so he has a problem standing by his own. Now, let's fully equip Lifeline with all the accessories. First, we have to attach the sleek little knee pads there. I really hate the knee pads. The removal knee pads is the most annoying thing because it tends to fall off if you nudge it a little bit. Put in the helmet. Very nice. Now let's have him attached with, put him on the ground first. Let's put all the accessories into the bag itself. Now the shock pads is made of a softer plastic material, so it tends to bend quite a lot, and when you try to place the shock pads into the slots itself, you have to press it firmly to make sure that it doesn't fall all over the place, because it doesn't fit in quite well due to the soft plastic. As you can see, it's soft plastic material. You can actually place the UV bag kit now, the IV bag I mean. Okay, there you go. Let's place him with all the accessories here, the pistol and a knife. Very nice. And if you really want to, you can also store this in the bag as well, because it doesn't actually hinder too much. Of course, you have to adjust a little bit. I'll do that the next time, but you can store it in. It's just that you have to adjust it a little bit. Have him hold the medic bag and his rifle, and have him stand on the base stand itself. Very nice. Very well done on the figure itself. What happens if you want to place, a patient onto the trauma board itself? First, we have to remove some of the items first, especially the UV bag. flip the case open. We have the trauma board here. Let's bring in the Renegade tube for experiment. Place the figure like so. Pull the strap in. Don't forget to pull the arm out. There you go. Very nice. Now we have to hook on the UV bag. Insert the pig on this section onto this hole here, like so. We got the clip on and we place it onto his wrist. Very nice. Have him wear the breathing mask. Very nicely done. As you can see, it's a bit loose. It really depends the size of the figure's head. See, it just pops off quite easily. The straps is not tight enough. There you go. Have him place the UV back again. Clip it on. There you have it. Remove the gun. Place him with the syringe pistol. Bend the legs, which is really good because they chose this legs for Lifeline, because you can actually have the figure bend the legs a lot, so he can actually interact the patient, which is down here, down on the ground itself. Very nice. You get the bag. It always pops off quite easily. Very nice. Overall, I really like this figure. The figure has a lot of nice accessories for rescue equipment, and you can do a really nice diorama with using his equipment itself. Very nicely done. So if I'm going to give a rating on this, I give it a nice 9 out of 10. Yes, 9 out of 10 for Lifeline here, because the problem with this figure, which I'm facing, of course, is because one side of the legs is a bit too long. But otherwise, the figure is very well done. So 9 out of 10 for Lifeline. I thank you all for watching. This is Lucy05, and I'm signing off.